What up, perps? Kid Copious back in effect. 2023, you know what we're doing here. We're wrapping up the year. We're celebrating a purple way of thinking. America, the center, common sense. Let's get back to basics, man. This is episode 200, so let's just get it poppin'. Yeah. All right, so this is episode 200. Man, I can't believe I made it this far. You know, coming up on my 4-year anniversary. But episode 200, that's something we're celebrating. They celebrate it on TV, so hell, I'm going to celebrate it here. You know, it's really easy if you're rewarded with money, you know, to keep going and keep going. But for me, the results have been small, pequeño. You know, I'm just trying to change the way of thinking that has us so divided. This whole idea of everything being red, everything being blue, everything being black, everything being white. I'm about gray and purple. Man, in fact, gray and purple is a great color combination, you know. But, you know, I just want to thank everybody who's ever watched this or commented or liked or subscribed. I mean, it means a lot to me because I think changing the way America thinks is a pretty big deal. And, you know, just to even be out here trying to do it, it fills me with determination. Yeah, little Undertale's reference there for you video game geeks. But man, I really appreciate everything that you guys have given me. I would do this even if 0 people watched. And in fact, I have done it when 0 people watched. But it means a lot when I hear from you. Even if it's just a like. I love it. I love it. So let's get started here. So right at the wire of the end of 23 here, a surprise contender for the purple story of the year. Gavin Newsom, California's own dictator, defies environmentalist opposition to build badly needed water tunnel. And this is going to show that purple versus non-purple way of thinking as we go through this. You know, protecting the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta is important. You know, it's a historic part of California. It is important environmentally. And nobody really wants to fuck it up. But again, the purple way of thinking is supply the water to the people without fucking it up. Or with as least amount of damage as possible. You know, the Sacramento River is the linchpin of our water system. That river flows to the Delta, where supplies became entangled in a mismatch of waterways and swamps. Right? Orange County water official Brett Barbie compares it to a 7-lane freeway that hits a choke point of dirt paths before connecting to a smaller freeway southward. The tunnel project, originally proposed as twin tunnels in 2015, is now down to a single tunnel that would keep the water flowing. So instead of the river coming down and then just sort of being lost in this delta, right, we want to divert some of the water. Now, a UC Berkeley professor put it the best way possible. California is on the operating table. The treatment team has elected to perform a delicate bit of vascular surgery, a new vessel to be implanted. That's what California needs. We need to divert some of the Sacramento River. If this tunnel is going to do it, then that's what we need to do. But of course, environmentalists are livid. The Sierra Club claims it will destroy the ecosystem and instead encourage the governor to work with environmental and social justice groups to develop better proposals. So I'm not sure why we need a social justice group involved with our water supply. I would say right off the bat, get rid of that. But what is the better proposal? The problem is that the better proposal doesn't exist. See, the Sierra Club and environmentalists only see things one way. They can't blur the lines. They can't say, hey, we need the water, so let's do it in a minimally invasive way. No, that's all they say. Leftist groups tend to say no and file lawsuits against anything that creates more water for people. And let's look at that. Last year, or earlier in the year, we had some big storms. The water that could have been captured and stored would have supplied 2.3 million people for 1 year. It's not everybody, but it's a start. But the environmentalists, of course, sue to stop it. The Democrat governor goes along with it. The government is run only by that one point of view, that leftist point of view. So, no water. Purple says, do it minimally invasively. Those are even words. The red, the left, the liberals, no. The blues, not the reds. Sometimes I forget because they're so close to communists now. Forget which colors it is. Maybe we should swap colors. That might make it a little bit easier to remember. But these greenies only see it from that point of view. Gavin Newsom, in a moment of being purple, is saying, no, we have to put the people first. So let's look at the top 3 stories of 23 as far as I'm concerned. Number 1 has to be the attacks of October 7th. I know that some people can argue that what happened in Israel really doesn't affect the world. But you know what? This is my list. This is what affected me. We had women who were raped to death, who were attending a concert, and a terrorist organization just swept into the country and butchered them. And the worst part, the part that sickened me, but then also made me a little happy because at least the spotlight was being shown on what these lefties are up to. The amount of support shown for Palestine, aka Hamas. The world, everybody on the left, everybody with that liberal, stupid, like blindly progressive way of thinking was exposed. But October 7th will, it wasn't about an attack on America like September 11th. But I allow myself to feel what I feel. I don't try to mitigate my opinions. And, that one just really hurt. That's something that still to this moment right now still just makes my gut hurt. Another one that really made my gut hurt is number 2 here, the Hunter Biden laptop. True. I think what really blew me away was the extent of the cover-up. The fact that the entire cover-up was just there on paper for us to see now. The people who lied about the validity. The covering up by news agencies and social media agencies. And then, of course, the cover-up of the cover-up. And the reason why this story is so important is, for one, it shows what career politicians do. The way they sell favors and get things back and blah, 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 blah. And we're seeing it with the way China's being treated. We're also seeing it in the way the Ukraine is being treated. You can agree, disagree on Ukraine. I'm starting to get a little sick of it. I think it's a money pit that maybe we never should have gotten involved with. And on a personal note, I lost my dad this year. And I was thinking about how this ties to America. And it's sort of symbolic to me because my dad was pretty purple, very purple. In fact, that's probably where I get it from. But our country needs that father figure. And what we've got in there right now is not a father figure. Joe Biden is a burden on all of us right now. He is, quite frankly, that person who has long overstayed their time, and we just have to muddle through with them. We don't need that. And now, on the other side of the fence, looks like it's shaping up again to be Donald Trump. Look, Donald Trump is kind of like the drunk father. You just never know what you're going to get. And I really don't want to go through that. I think it's time this country has a mother, I'd like to see what emerges there. But yeah, 2023. Couple of awards here. The Needless Person of the Year. I think that's an easy one. Kamala Harris. I mean, she's the only person worse than Biden. Because she just, every time that woman opens her mouth, it's an insult to America. She is an insult to everything we stand for. She didn't work her way. She didn't earn her way. And along the way, she did nothing. She just failed upwards. Yeah, spokesperson of the year, Dylan Mulvaney. I just put that in there. Got a lot of reactions when I took Bud Light's side in this. But if you remember, I was also against Dylan sporting a sports bra. Again, a purple way of thinking is that, yeah, I mean, trans people deserve all the rights of citizens. But just like regular citizens have, a framework to be within, I think the same thing should apply. I'm not a big believer in what's going on in athletics and with restrooms at schools, and sometimes a little bit of the inappropriateness of, the left, I guess. But, I just wanted to mention Dylan. I mean, she doesn't really bother me, but, sporting a sports bra, that's very anti-woman, if you ask me. And that brings us to the Person of the Year. Not necessarily for his accomplishments, but Joe Manchin, for giving me a new identity as the radical middle. That's what this is about, the radical middle. Standing up and saying F you to all of these people. And telling the people who think that they own our vote, F you. F you. You don't own our vote. You got to earn our vote. That's the way it works. All right, my final stupid little award here is the Analogy of the Year. This is something I thought up. It's not terribly original, but it's original in the... All right, we'll polish off this list with the Analogy of the Year. Current politics is like the game Survivor. Bad ideas get passed because they have the numbers, both in terms of money and influence. Politics should be like the Amazing Race. Only the good ideas make it to the pit stop. So I thought, I'm sure they do this, but I think all states should have a clearly defined singular resolution for the new year. And for my state, California, we need water. Look, you could only survive 3 days without water. We need water. So my resolutions, increase water storage and start working on some reclamation, other than the sewer water. Use that elsewhere. Use that in agriculture or irrigation. And we need better water management. We need to stand up to these environmental groups, and we need to do what we have to do to get water. If we run out of water, we're screwed. So what would your state's resolutions be? Just leave a comment down there, And for the nation, we need to get back to common sense unity. We don't have to agree on everything, but we must be willing to compromise to get the important things done. That's pretty simple. I'm going to finish off this year with 3 from the B. Nations, white liberals wish each other a happy Kwanzaa. I got nothing against I have nothing against it, but I just think it's funny that it seems to be more important than people, just simply people on the left, than the people who it was actually intended to be for. These fine citizens may really have a point, and I'd like to learn more about their cause, thinks driver blocked by protesters for 3 hours. But that was 2023, wasn't it? People gluing themselves to shit. 2023, the year people just went around gluing themselves to shit. That about sums up the year, doesn't it? And my favorite, probably of the year, Soros-backed DA prosecutes Illinois boy for terrorizing burglars. Oh, man. I don't think Home Alone's ever made it in here, but that's a good one, B. I mean, way to sum it up. So 2023, my grade, I think there was a lot of awakening. I give it an A+. I think the left was exposed. Where that goes, still too early to see. I give the Republicans a D. They get an ounce of power and they just go out and, for the most part, make abortion illegal, which I think is completely stupid. And I think they also had a lack of action in words. I don't think they were pointing this stuff out in a way that got through to people. Democrats, look, you get an F, okay? An F-. Because you keep listening to the extremes. You listen to people like Just Stop Oil, BLM. You go all in on this diversity, equity, inclusion shit. Instead of America. America is diversity, inclusion, equity. We try. Equity, equality, whatever it is. Fuck that shit. I don't even want to know about it. We should all realize that we are Americans in this together and everybody deserves a chance. That's easy. And the big F- for the Democrats is the border. The border, because that's a long-term problem. That is going to affect the next couple administrations. The year 2023 gets an F+. I give it the plus because I think a lot of shit was exposed. And I think exposing the right and the left for who they are is the only way we'll ever get purple. But the F is we're falling apart. Our resources, our money are thinning. And looking down the line, 2023 has continued this left-wing policy that is setting up the future for failure. So, big F. So for me, my resolutions, up my resolution. Got to get this picture quality back up. I'm trying something new today. Let's see how it works. Pronounce words better. Probably shouldn't do so much Red Bull. Red Bull and weed is a hell of a drug. And I want to get more stuff going on my website and figure out what more action I can take. What can I do? Hey, you guys can help. Comments down at the bottom, man. And for you, my perps, my lovely little perps, my lovely little perps, love one another. Look for that new point of view and find mental peace. Well, 2023, I'm signing off. I'm Kid Copious. I'm Purple State Party, and so are you. This is my first episode. Dance it out.